Hello friends, there are moments in life when we feel stuck, like we were standing at the base of a massive mountain, unsure of how to climb it, or even if we can. That mountain might be fear, self-doubt, trauma, or patterns we can't seem to break. We wonder, why do I keep holding myself back? This book by Brianna Wiest doesn't just answer that question. It walks beside you, gently guiding you through the emotional landscape of self-sabotage, and shows you how to turn your pain into power. This isn't just a book, it's a mirror. It shows you that the mountain you're facing isn't outside of you. It is you. And climbing it is not about conquering the world, but about understanding, healing, and rising within yourself. Chapter 1. When you are your own obstacle. Understanding self-sabotage. Have you ever felt like there's a version of you that wants to grow, to love, to heal? But there's another version that keeps pulling you back, whispering doubts in your ears, making you quit just when things are about to get better. That, dear friend, is self-sabotage. It's not about being lazy. It's not because you're incapable. It's because somewhere inside you, your mind believes that staying the same is safer than changing. You start building a new habit, and suddenly forget to do it after a few days. You meet someone amazing and distance yourself without even knowing why. You want the good things, but some part of you doesn't feel ready to receive them. That's because your subconscious mind, the part that stores all your past pain, fears, and limiting beliefs, is trying to protect you. It fears that success will lead to disappointment. It believes that love will end in heartbreak. It thinks that joy is too fragile to trust, so it builds walls instead of bridges. It chooses the known discomfort over the unknown freedom. It's a painful question, isn't it? Why would I stop myself from being happy? Why do I keep ruining the good things in my life? Brianna Wiest answers this with honesty and compassion. Self-sabotage is a coping mechanism. It is your survival response. It is not your enemy. It is your unhealed self trying to feel safe. Your past experiences may have taught you that being vulnerable, getting hurt, trying something new, believing in yourself, being disappointed. So now, you hesitate, you delay, you procrastinate, you stay small. Not because you don't want to grow, but because you're scared of what growth might bring. You don't need to punish yourself for the patterns you've repeated. You need to understand them. Be curious about them. Sit with them instead of running from them. Ask yourself gently, what part of me feels unsafe about this next step? What am I really afraid of losing if I succeed? What do I believe I don't deserve, and why? You'll find that behind every act of sabotage lies a wound, and every wound is simply asking to be seen, held, and healed. You are simply in the process of unlearning old beliefs and relearning how to trust yourself. Self-sabotage may have protected you once, but now it's time to let go of survival and choose self-mastery. Brianna reminds us that you can outgrow your pain, you can outgrow your patterns, and you can rise. You don't have to fix yourself overnight. Just begin with awareness, with kindness, with one new choice at a time. It simply asks you to take the first step, to look inward, to stop blaming yourself, and to start loving the part of you that's been afraid for far too long. Because you, dear soul, are capable of becoming everything you dream of, not in spite of your wounds, but because of the wisdom they've gifted you. Chapter 2. The mountain is you. Facing the inner climb. Imagine standing in front of a towering mountain. It's not just made of stone, snow, or dust. It's made of your fears, your past pain, your traumas, your unspoken dreams, and the parts of you that still doubt your own light. And then comes the realization, this mountain is not in your way, it is you. That's the moment everything shifts. It's the internal resistance that keeps you from reaching your highest potential. It's all the reasons you haven't started that project, left that toxic relationship, believed in yourself, or allowed happiness to stay. You may ask, why would I stand in my own way? Because change is terrifying, even when it's good. Because healing requires us to let go of identities we've held on to for years, even if they've hurt us. Sometimes, comfort lies in familiarity, even if that familiarity is self-doubt. But deep down, you know you were made for more. And this chapter tells you, it's time to climb, to defeat it, to get rid of everything inside you that's broken. But that's not what this book teaches. You're not meant to crush the mountain. You're meant to become strong enough to rise above it, to burn away what no longer serves you, to become like fire, not to destroy, but to transform. The pain, the fear, the old narratives, they are fuel. Fuel for your growth, your strength, your becoming. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. Brianna writes, let that sink in. Understanding what triggers you, what fears keep resurfacing, what beliefs did you inherit but never question. What parts of you are still waiting to be heard, acknowledged, and loved? This isn't about blaming anyone, not your parents, your past, or yourself. This is about becoming aware so you can choose differently. Self-awareness isn't weakness, it's power. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You finally see where you are and where you need to go. Boogie, when you rest without guilt, when you choose honesty over silence, when you speak to yourself with compassion. Every small, brave act is a step upward. And even when you slip, you still change direction. You're still facing the summit. It's waking up. It's discovering that all along, you weren't trying to become someone else. You were trying to return to who you were before the world taught you to be afraid. Hey, you are rewriting your story. You are becoming the one you were always meant to be. And yes, you are the mountain, and you will move. Chapter 3, Self-Sabotage, the silent struggle within. Have you ever stood at the edge of something beautiful, a dream job, a meaningful relationship, a new chapter, and felt yourself pulling away, hesitating, even ruining it, without knowing why? This chapter gently places a mirror in front of us, not to shame, but to help us understand the hidden layers of self-sabotage. Because truthfully, we don't ruin our lives because we're broken. We sabotage because we're scared. It's about protection. Our minds are wired to keep us safe, not successful. So when something feels unfamiliar, even if it's good, our brain says, wait, this isn't normal. Let's pull back. It's the reason why we ghost people who treat us well. We delay opportunities we prayed for. We binge eat when we feel joy, or criticize ourselves when we're finally doing okay. Because at some level, we've learned that comfort lies in chaos, and peace that feels threatening. Don't get your hopes up. Love has to be earned. Success only comes through suffering. So when life starts feeling too good, we panic. We think, this can't last. Something's going to go wrong, and so, subconsciously, we make sure it does. But Brianna Wiest urges us to pause and ask, is this fear mine, or was it planted in me by someone else? That question alone can begin to dismantle the pattern. What if those moments when you pull away, doubt yourself, or procrastinate, are simply signals showing you where you're still hurting? This chapter teaches us to stop fighting the sabotage and start listening to it, because underneath every act of self-destruction is a deeper truth. A wound that needs healing, a belief that needs replacing, a younger self that needs reassurance. It means becoming aware in the moment it's happening. Next time you feel yourself spiraling, try asking, what emotion am I afraid to feel? Each time you respond to sabotage with kindness instead of shame, you loosen its grip. You give yourself permission to receive joy without guilt. You are not doomed to fail. You are not meant to suffer just to feel worthy. Let go of the belief that good things must come with punishment. Start believing that peace, success, and love can be your new normal. Because every time you choose to trust the good, you're building a life that doesn't need sabotaging. You're learning how to finally let yourself have the life you deserve. Chapter 4. Emotional intelligence, the key to inner freedom. Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by your own emotions, like a wave crashing over you, leaving you breathless? Have you ever told yourself, I shouldn't feel this way, and then tried to push it all down, only to have it explode later? This chapter reveals something powerful. Your emotions are not the enemy. They are messengers, whispers from your soul trying to guide you home. But emotional intelligence isn't about suppressing how you feel. It's about understanding why you feel it and what to do with it. It's about becoming a safe place for yourself, no matter how messy the emotion is. But when someone interrupts you, that sadness that visits you out of nowhere, they're not just mood swings. They're invitations to look deeper. Brianna Wiest reminds us that emotions help us recognize our unmet needs. Show us where our boundaries are being crossed, indicate where healing is still needed. If you feel jealousy, it might be pointing toward a desire you've been ignoring. If you feel resentment, it might be a sign you've been betraying your own limits. These are not flaws, these are maps. Physical symptoms like tension, headaches, or fatigue. Numbness, where joy used to live. This chapter gently encourages us. Stop running from your feelings. They are not here to hurt you. They are here to free you. You become the observer, not the prisoner. You begin to say things like, I'm noticing sadness right now. It makes sense given what I've been through. What is it trying to protect? This fear feels big, but maybe it's just trying to keep me safe. And just like that, you begin to heal. They are the ones who feel deeply and still move forward with clarity. They don't deny their storm, they learn how to sail through it. Emotional intelligence gives you this freedom, the freedom to not overreact, the freedom to set boundaries without guilt, but the freedom to trust your gut and forgive your past. This chapter reminds us, mastering your emotions doesn't mean controlling them. It means allowing them to guide you, not govern you. You are not we, and in your vulnerability there is unimaginable strength. Embrace your emotions, not as enemies, but as lifelong allies. Because when you learn to speak the language of your soul, that's when true peace begins. Chapter 5. The Power of Choice. Reclaiming your inner authority. There comes a moment in everyone's life when we pause and ask, is this really how I want to live? It might happen in the middle of an ordinary day, staring out the window or brushing your teeth, when a soft whisper rises from within. There must be more than this. This chapter is about that moment. The moment when you realize you are not just a passenger in your life. You are the one holding the steering wheel. Because we lack discipline, because we're lazy. But Brianna Wiest explains something deeply powerful. Self-sabotage is often not laziness. It's fear dressed as protection. You delay starting that business. Maybe deep down you fear success will isolate you. You stay in a relationship that drains you. Maybe it's the comfort of the familiar. Even if it hurts, you keep avoiding your dreams. Maybe you're scared of losing them if you actually try. The truth is, you're not sabotaging your life on purpose. You're trying to stay safe, using old tools that no longer serve you. You can choose differently every single day, even when it's hard, even when it's scary. That's the beginning of personal transformation. But what if you just spoke up for yourself once, said no to something that drains you, woke up 15 minutes earlier to journal your thoughts, said yes to the dream you've been burying for years? Each of these choices may seem small, but when repeated, they become identity shifts. They whisper to your soul, I am allowed to want more. I can begin again. Then, feel, leave what no longer serves you. Change your mind, start over. Brianna reminds us, you don't owe the world a version of you that's slowly dying inside. You owe yourself truth. You owe yourself joy. Be are allowed to begin again. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to rise. And when you do, the mountains inside you begin to crumble. Not because they're gone, but because you've grown taller than them. Chapter 6. Becoming your future self. The identity shift. There's a quiet pain in living as someone you've outgrown. It feels like wearing clothes 2 sizes too small. Everything pinches, everything limits, and deep inside you know you were made for more, but stepping into that more. That means stepping away from who you used to be. And that's not always easy. Not because you don't care anymore, but because your frequency has changed. The cost of becoming your future self is letting go of your past one. That version of you who stayed quiet to avoid conflict. You settled for less to feel accepted. You avoided risks to feel safe. That version is fading. And it's okay. You're not betraying yourself by letting go. You're honoring who you're becoming. You're no longer who you used to be, but not yet fully who you're becoming. It's lonely. It's confusing. And sometimes your own mind will try to pull you back to the old version of you, whispering, you've changed, and not for the better. But Brianna Wiest explains this clearly. When you start to heal, grow and evolve, your nervous system will initially interpret it as unsafe, because it's unfamiliar. So when discomfort arises, it's not a sign to stop. It's a sign to keep going. Don't wait for her to arrive. Start being her today. Ask yourself, how does she think? What does she prioritize? What does she say no to? How does she treat her body, her dreams, her time? Then align with that, one brave decision at a time. Even if it feels fake at first, even if no one else understands, your future self is already within you. She just needs space to breathe. Say goodbye to people still tied to your old identity. Walk away from environments that shrink your soul. This doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you're growing. You can mourn your past while still walking boldly toward your future. There's power in releasing what no longer reflects you. It creates room for the version of you who's ready to rise. The fear, the self-doubt, the inner battle, that's not the problem. That's the path. Every struggle has been shaping you for this moment. The moment you finally stop trying to fix yourself and start redefining yourself, not as who you were told to be, but as who you were born to become. Chapter 7. The courage to be your authentic self. The power of reaching your summit. We all have a mountain to climb, a challenge that seems too steep, too difficult, a path that feels too long, too exhausting. And yet, it is the very thing that defines our lives. The mountain is not the obstacle you face. The mountain is you. It's the version of you that you've kept hidden. The strength within you that you've yet to fully claim. That is not your enemy. It is the key that unlocks your greatest potential. The mountain does not ask you to climb alone. It calls to you. And when you answer, you will see that every step is leading you to your most authentic self. The only way out is through, and the only way to the top is one brave step after another. You cannot cheat the climb, you cannot skip the work. You must go through it, and through is where you'll find your power. The weight of the past, the old habits, the outdated beliefs, they slow you down, so you leave them behind, piece by piece. And with every release, you feel lighter. Let go of who you are not, and make space for who you truly are. It's in this shedding, this cleansing, that the mountain reveals itself, not as a burden but as your breakthrough. You will face moments where the summit feels unreachable. The journey will ask for your strength, your resilience, and your determination. But every time you think about turning back, remember this: your mountain has been waiting for you to show up. And you are the only one who can climb it. Every step forward is a step toward you. Even when the summit is hidden by the fog of doubt, keep climbing. And the moment you realize this, you will understand that the climb itself has shaped you. It has sculpted you into someone stronger, wiser, more capable than you ever imagined. At the top of your mountain, you will find something magnificent, the version of yourself who you've always known you could be. The one who is always worthy, always powerful, always enough. You'll look back and realize that it was not the mountain that was the challenge. It was the mountain within you. And once you reach your summit, there will be other peaks, other challenges to face, but you will never be the same. You'll understand that every climb, every challenge, every moment of struggle has shaped you into someone unstoppable. And when you reach the next peak, you'll know that the greatest mountain you've climbed is the one inside of you.